بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
فإنهم عدو لي إلا رب العالمين الذي خلقني فهو يهدين والذي هو يطعمني ويسقين.
Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So today we are on our journey with Ulul Azm, the greatest prophets, and today we're taking a look at Ibrahim alayhi salam, and we're trying to learn something from his Daawah techniques. What can we learn? How can we give Daawah like Ibrahim alayhi salam? A truly remarkable conversation in Surah Shu'ara takes place that I think highlights something that is sorely missing from so many Muslims when they talk about Islam. Most Muslims, when they talk about Islam, they say Islam is a religion in which there is one God, and we believe in prophets and afterlife and so on and so forth. And Muslims often speak in a very technical way, almost like a Wikipedia entry. Like, this is what it is. Here are articles of faith, and these are the practices, and so on and so forth. And the reason why Muslims do that is because they have so much respect that they want to speak respectfully and professionally, which is good. And it's not like they're saying anything wrong. They're not lying. It's not evil. However, we find that with Ibrahim alayhi salam, he personalizes the da'wah. He shows that this is something that is deep within his heart and soul. Let's take a look. When he is discussing with the disbelievers and telling them about their idolatry, he says, فَإِنَّهُمْ عَدُوٌ لِي إِلَّا رَبَّ الْعَالَمِينَ. They, as in those idols, are enemies to me except the lords of the worlds. The only deity worthy of worship is clearly Allah. الَّذِي خَلَقَنِي فَهُوَ يَهْدِينَ وَالَّذِي هُوَ يُطْعِمُنِي وَيَسْقِينَ وَإِذَا مَرِضْتُ فَهُوَ يَشْفِينَ وَالَّذِي يُمِيتُنِي ثُمَّ يُحْيِينَ وَالَّذِي أَطْعَمُ أن يغفر لي خطيئتي يوم الدين رب هب لي حكما وألحقني بالصالحين واجعل لي لسان صدق في الآخرين واجعلني من ورثة جنة النعيم. Let's take a look at the meaning here. He says, they are all enemies to me except the Lord of the worlds. And who is Allah? Now he's giving a definition of who Allah is. And look at this description. He is the one who created me, and is he who guides me, and is he who feeds me and gives me to drink. And when I am ill, it is he who cures me, and who will cause me to die and then will bring me to life, and who I aspire that he will forgive me of my sins on the day of recompense. And then he prays and makes dua and says, my Lord, grant me authority and join me with the righteous, and grant me a reputation of honor among the later generations, and place me among the inheritors of the gardens of pleasure. Why is this such an important set of ayat? This whole section is him introducing people to who Allah is. And instead of just saying that in Islam, God is the creator of the heavens and the earth, and so on and so forth, speaking in a very technical way, imagine if every single Muslim described Allah Ta'ala with this much personal investment of their heart and soul. If they spoke about it so personally, and you could feel the touch of the divine in their speech, you could feel that this is something truly spiritual that they feel deep on a very personal level. Imagine if every believer spoke that way. Wouldn't that be remarkable? Wouldn't that be so transformative for people listening and saying, this is exactly what I'm missing? Instead of saying that, Allah is the creator and so on and so forth, which is fine, by the way. I want to be very clear. I'm not saying that any of the standard information is inaccurate. It's accurate, but it just doesn't have that same flavor. It doesn't have that same emphasis. Why? Because you're not highlighting just how much you are touched in your heart. I remember I spoke to one shaykh about one of my teachers, and I said, how would you describe Allah Ta'ala? And he said, Allah Ta'ala is at the center of everything that I do. So the fact that he said the word I, the fact that it's personal, and the fact that Allah Ta'ala, everything revolves. When I wake up in the morning, what I eat and where I go and how I wash up and how I spend time with my kids and how I go to work, and everything, I'm thinking about Allah, I'm remembering Allah, I'm being grateful to Allah, and then I have to pause for my prayers towards Allah. Everything is revolving around Him in my personal daily life. This is how you personalize information. This is how you make it powerful. This is the da'wah technique of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And the final point I want to mention is that it breaks my heart, and it should break all of our hearts. It should be very disheartening when we think about how many non-Muslims speak this way about their religion, and Muslims seem to be lacking in this department. It's very often the case that when I talk to other people of various different faiths, even though I discuss with them and I find that their religion isn't necessarily making much sense, and I think that they have certain misconceptions, and I'm trying to clarify things. One thing that stands out very clearly, which is that it's very personal to them. It's very much a deeply spiritual faith that they are holding. It's not something that's just technical in their mind. It's not just a set of rules. No, it's really something that is deep within their heart. Now, of course, ultimately, if it's a religion other than Islam, I disagree with it. But they present it in a way that is very heartfelt. So why should any non-Muslim be exceeding us and surpassing us when it comes to just how deep our deen is in our hearts? I hope that makes sense. So may Allah Ta'ala make us of those who personalize our faith when we talk about it, and obviously just in our daily lives, and so that when we speak about our deen, nobody exceeds us with regards to the way that we talk about Islam as something so deeply spiritual and personal to us. Ameen ya Rabb. Jazakallah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.